Welcome to Hide and Seek TV. It's your boy Hide and Seek, and I'm about to get ready to do a very deep breakdown. And this right here, I'm gonna be delving into just different elements of like the whole theme of Freemasonry within these, religions and camps, Hebrew camps. But I want to start it off how people say, I follow the camps, but as it's written, a little leaven leaveneth the whole lump. Same with the churches, whatever. Once we learn the truth, man, we have to know how to we cannot walk with them, because then at the same time you say you learning from them, they're Masons that's teaching you nothing but Antichrist spirits. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna delve into that in this video, and I'm gonna put the other the rest of the playlist in the comment section below. But as it's written in Revelation 5:7, and he came and took the book of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne. Who him was set upon the throne, obviously the Son of God. And when he had opened the book, the 4 beasts and 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vial full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take thy book and to open the seals thereof, for those was slain and has redeemed us to God by the blood out of every kind and kindred and tongue and people and nation. So as you see the whole thing, him who is what? Worthy to open the scroll. You know what I'm saying? When you understand the whole theme of the scroll, let's delve deep into this, because this is, that's the one who's worthy to sit upon the throne. And this was Eddie Long. Not too long after this, he passed away. But look what they do. They crown him king, and look at what they do to him.
Doctors say when you look in a microscope.
Hold on one second. Let me turn it down just a little bit.
Your cells of your body look exactly like script Hebrew letters. There are crowns because this is God's government. Matthew 5:17-19, and Yeshua said, do not think that I come. Ladies and gentlemen, if you turn Bishop towards me, and we're going to now surround him. Wherever you were.
Notice how they wrap him inside the Lamb scroll, saying he's the one worthy, to sit upon the throne. Look at what they do.
The 4 corners of the earth. They'll raise him up right now. He now is raised up from a commoner to the kingship. Come on, raise it up. And I'll walk him around. And on the earth, he's raised.
Look at that. So you see Eddie Long did it. Not too long after that, he passes away. Basically saying he's the one worthy to be wrapped in the scrolls. So the same thing goes to the Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthew, who called himself the chief rabbi. He's the one who began the Hebrew Israelite, movement. He called himself chief rabbi. Remember, Christ, Yahushua said, do not call no man rabbi, because he is your master. The Messiah is our master. He's our teacher. But this man wrapping himself up in the scrolls, basically saying he's the word of God that becometh flesh. You see what I mean? And I already broke this down on a previous video. Like I said, I'll put all that in the comment section below. But as you can see, notice he got the scrolls as well. Because as it's written, the one that's wrapped in that scroll is going to be at the top of the altar. As it's written, and I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on Mount Zion, with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. So you see how they do this. You see how they got these antichrists wrapped up in lamb scroll. How wicked they are. What's the difference? So let's delve even further. As it's written in Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make of them a synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. So, the Ashkenazi, so-called white Jewish, notice how the whole thing goes. The same ones who are, the same ones worked hand in hand with those Pharisees, which was nothing but Pharisees, scribe, and Sadducees, was nothing but the Hebrew camps at old, times of old, the old church leaders of times of old. That's all those people were, man. And them the same ones who are trying to tell you how your Messiah was coming back. They're the same ones that lie to you, telling you this and that. Like I said, I have all of the stuff in the previous videos. But they're the same ones that's lying to you, telling you about the feast days, the Passovers, you know what I'm saying, and so forth. how to uphold the customs. You know, those same ones that was baptizing, Judah, in the false white Jesus. You know, same ones who telling you that ones who crucified your Messiah are the same ones, the ones telling you, how he'll return and how you must follow him. This is how deep it goes, man. As is written in Wisdom of Solomon 14:15, for a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child, soon taken away, now honor him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. So you see how deep this all goes. All of that stuff goes under the false, Judaism, the false, synagogue of Satan's way of leading us. I'm leading those Masons into fooling real people in the camps, within the congregations, within the churches, etc. You see what I mean? The king who made his son a god, the old pope who made his son a god, the Caesar Borgia, the white Jesus. Caesar Borgia was a rapist, a murderer. He dealt in incest with his sister and a lot of wicked things, But all of this stuff is under that same Godhead. No matter how they try to say, we worship the black God, black Jesus, Yahweh Shah. Let's delve into all of that. Again, as it's written, it's duality in all things. That's why I said, the path to the kingdom of heaven is narrow and the path to hell is wide, because as it's written in Isaiah 45:7, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. When you translate Yahweh Shai, Yahushua from the Hebrew, back in the old days before the slave trade began, they used to use the letter L. The letter J didn't come around till, so the slave trade began. So they used to use the Y's and the L's. So obviously, Yahweh Shai, Yahushua, it becomes what? Lewis. What I'm saying? Hallelujah. Notice they always tell you, Hali means to praise, Lewis Yah. Lewis eternal Yah. They always tell you what the Yah, but they never tell you what the Lu is, because as it's written in Isaiah 52:5-6, now therefore what have I here, saith the Lord, that my people is taken away for naught. They that rule over them make them nahal, and saith the Lord, my name continually every day is blasphemed. Therefore my people shall know my name. Therefore they shall know in that day that I am he that doeth speak. Behold, it is I. So you see the whole thing. The name was going to be revealed. That's why all the kings, the so-called white kings, went by Lewis's. That's why the main clothing line is Louis Vuitton and so forth, because the whole thing, the Lewis name was going to be revealed. That's why it's written in Matthew 11:27, all things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father, neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son, and he to whomsoever the Son will reveal him. So hence the name was going to be revealed. That's why I said that the Spirit will be poured out in these last days in Acts 2:17 upon all flesh. They don't want you knowing the Messiah is in the flesh. They don't want you knowing the Messiah is on earth. That's why they want you to just say, oh, Yah. They say that because they know you just in the spirit, he's upon the throne all day long. But he returned in flesh. He's already amongst us. That's why it says in 1 John 4:3, and every spirit that confesseth not that Louis Eternal is come in the flesh is not of God, and that is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. You see? Let's delve into this whole thing. They don't want you knowing it because the Yah that they worship is not the true Yah. They just bamboozling people within the congregation and bamboozling people with their teachings, because it's the same way that the Pharisees was working. They wasn't serving the true Yah. That's why Yahushua was always contending with them to let us know that we was going to be dealing with these Masons. That's who those Pharisees were, Freemasons. I'm going to get into that later on in a second in the video. But the Yah that they say they worship, the Yah, the one they worship is that moon god. What I'm saying? It's the moon god Yah. That's why it's duality and everything. We got to know, like it says, Satan masquerades as an angel of light. So it's all just going to Lucifer. That's why you see, that's why they have it all the same thing with the Muslims, with Allah, that all go into Moloch, Baal. It's nothing but the moon god. You know how Masons work, they love to worship the moon because it's written the moon is a faithful witness in heaven. So when you understand how serious that is, they already know that the Son of God is the Son of righteousness, as it's written in Malachi 4:2. And in Psalms 89:36-37, that the sun will be as the throne before him, and the moon as a faithful witness. So they want to, everything was made to represent the Son of God, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything. Because it was showing that he was going to be he's the Lord of the universe. That's why in John 5:22, the Father said that he give all judgment to the Son. The Father judged no man. So that's what people like, I only worship Yah. I don't deal with you don't have no son. Well, when they say they worship Yah, they worshiping the moon god. Because like I said, they want to get rid of the true light and let the moon reflect their own light, be their own gods. Be liberated, become a Freemason. So all of that Allah and the Yah that they worship is all under the same Godhead. That's why the Christ-line is forming. When they about to form the one world religion with Christianity and with Islam. It's all coming together. Pay attention to this right here. The Christ-line that's forming. One worship the moon god. They both worship the moon god. But one worship have the emblem of the moon. And on the right-hand side, the Hebrew camps have they call it Star of David. But as it's written in Amos 5:26, but ye are born the tabernacle of your Moloch, and Chion, the images, the star of your God, which ye made to yourselves. So it's all in our face. That's why we got to be wise, especially with Islam. Anyway, let's get to Islam. Just a quick little brief theme right quick. So, as it's written in Galatians 1 verse 8, but though we or an angel from heaven preach any other gospel unto you than that which hath preached unto you, let him be accursed. As we have said before, so say now I again, if any man preach other gospel unto you than that ye have received, let him be accursed. So let's see when Galatians was written. Galatians was written around 56, 57 AD. And let's go on, they say Muhammad. Remember they said, remember in the scriptures, Gabriel, went to Mary and said that your son will be born. You have a son that's born, That's hundreds of years before, what's his name, Muhammad met, they said he came across Gabriel around, 610, like, AD-ish time, CE, AD-ish time. So that's like, almost like 600 years, 500 something years of a gap of time. Like, that don't even make sense. So how did that angel, tell Muhammad, that that God Allah has no son, he's just gonna be a prophet? But in the scriptures, like 500 something years before Galatians was written, that it said that he was gonna have a son. That don't even add up. It don't add up. That's how these Masons work. They all antichrist. Because when you understand how this goes, remember Lucifer had his fallen angels with him. And they hate the Son of Man. They hate humans because they know that the Son of Man was going to take flesh. So that's why they try to demean that he was going to come in the flesh. They want you just keep it supernatural, which is all supernatural works. But I'm just saying, like, in a sense where, practically how he was going to be born human. There's no way around none of this stuff, man. And that's how these antichrists work. And meanwhile, they walk around in your face, calling themselves rabbis, wrapping themselves up with lambskin scrolls, saying they're the word of God in flesh. So Luke chapter 20, verse 17 through 19, and he beheld them and said, what is this then that it is written, the stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the headstone of the corner. Whosoever shall fall upon that stone shall be broken, but on whomsoever it shall fall, it will grind him to powder. And the chief priests and scribes the same hour sought to lay hands on him, and they feared the people, for they perceived that he had spoken this parable against them. So see, they want to beat up Christ, You know what I mean? But you see, the people got scared because they was able to identify that they were the Masons. They were the ones that was deceiving them. You feel me? That's how these Masons work. They like to work in secret. You know, when they work in secret, they stay hidden. That's how they deceive the people. You see what I'm saying? Let's delve into this. That's why I said they call themselves secret societies. That's why I say, in the day when God shall judge the secrets of men by Louis Eternal according to my gospel. So the secrets of men, you say secret society, they're Masonic secrets. You know, let's delve deeper into this. Let's see what Bishop Nathaniel, who created IUIC, let's hear what he got to say.
I want to say welcome, Bishop Nathaniel. I never knew TV. I appreciate you coming.
All
down.
praise to the Most High. Thank you for having me.
All right, cool, man. I want to start with some history. And from what I understand, you used to be a detective in the NYPD?
Yes, sir.
All right. The question I have is, when and why did you join the NYPD?
Well, a job, number one. I needed a job. My son was born. I was operational insecurity, so I said, let me just jump on over to that. So I went on. There's a lot of other history in there, but it's long-winded. But, you know, I needed a paycheck, and I went into that. So
During your time in the NYPD.
So you hear all that stuff is nothing but, we already know that the cops are nothing but Freemasons, especially once you reach detective. You know, that's when you really rank up. So, you know, just like Rick Ross, you know how Rick Ross, you know, was a correctional officer, see how they all doing the Masonic hand gestures, how Rick Ross was sent in to infiltrate, you know, Judah and bring in the drug dealer and, you know, the rapper. They do the same thing. They done it. They infiltrate us on all levels, man. You know, that's how deep this goes. See how they are. All the cops are just Freemasons. You know, a legion. So he go from being a Freemason cop to all of a sudden, oh yeah, he's no longer a Freemason. He just, you know, he's just serving, you know, uplifting Christ. Like, it don't even make no sense. You feel me? They are who they are. They work in secret, but the secret is being revealed now. We're reproofing them, the workers of the darkness, that we're the children of light. You know what I mean? Because they don't want you knowing the truth. They don't want you knowing about the Exodus. They're not telling you about that the Messiah was going to return back as Moses and, you know, lead his people out of captivity. As it's written, in that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and there should be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts in the land of Egypt. For they shall cry unto the Lord because of the oppressors, and he shall send them a Savior and a great one, and he shall deliver them. You know, we are in the spiritual land of Egypt. They don't want you knowing he's come back as a man, and he came back as a man. And as it's written in Zechariah 6:12, and speak unto him, saying, thus speaketh the Lord of hosts, saying, behold the man whose name is the branch, and he shall grow up out of his place, and he shall build the temple of the Lord. What temple is that? It's written, in that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt. And there should be for a sign and for a pillar, and a pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and there should be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts. The top of the altars is measured at 76 degrees, as it's written, which foreshadows the things that come, but the bodies of Christ. It foreshadows the kingdom to come. Let's talk about that. And I'm going to delve into that because they don't want you knowing that, because they want you to know they're going to be doing a reverse exodus where they're going to be trying to have, they're going to be raising up these false antichrists, you know, these false messiahs, and they're going to be leading people, yeah, we got to just stay in America, get our reparations. The world will pay us our reparations. We're going to stay in America. We go get our land. We don't have to leave. We already have the pyramids here. Yeah, we've been building pyramids everywhere, but these testify the Messiah's return, which I'm going to get into in a second. So as you see, that's how they're going to work. That's what they're using them for. You know, they all working hand in hand with Lucifer. I already done showed about Obama being the Antichrist. They're not telling you that. You ask about Obama, what they're going to say, oh, yeah, you know, he just didn't do nothing for black people. You know, he just was just in there, man. He just a sellout. They're not going to tell you that's the Antichrist. I done showed it. I done proved it millions of times throughout my videos. Like I said, I even put it in the playlist with this Hebrew camp doctrine. Exposed. You know, I put it in part 1. I showed it multiple times. But listen to this. Look how they all was working hand in hand. Excuse the language. That's why they had to have it on this movie, because they had to let you see that it was all flowing out of Obama. All of this stuff, the Christ-Islam, all that stuff is going to flow out of Obama, man. And that's how they deceive the people. They work hand in hand, but in secret. You think they warn against each other. But Lucifer divides himself, but he uses order out of chaos. That's why he has to use chaos. That's why they be looking like, man, we against them. Don't join up with that camp. No, come to us. But they all working together. You know? Same thing right here. Look, right here. You know, the false Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Look at this. Taken from the night was the captain of the tyrant rescue.
Now what that means is, can we, the lost tribe of Israel, reclaim what is rightfully ours from the cave-dwelling white devils that raped our ancestors, stole our land, and dispersed the true children of God across the globe?
Hey!
Look at that.
No devil. This is not the words of Jesus Christ.
Shut your mouth, cave bitch.
Yeah. Look how they talk to people. And you already know the theme is too, as it's written, that we were going to be a light unto the Gentiles. So that's why they pushed. They already know it's going to be as the days of Noah were. It was going to be an exodus. You know what I mean? It's going to be a literal exodus, as it said, the Son of Man. The days will be as the Son of Man will be as the days of Noah when he returned, which I'm about to show in a second. But you know, it was Gentiles. You know, hit the whole thing with Japhet, progenitor. He would be the progenitor of the Gentiles. Ham, the progenitor of so-called Africans, and Shem, the progenitor of the so-called Hebrews. Hebrews. So you see how everything come together. It was gonna be all three dwelling, because it was gonna be a gathering, and that's what they don't want. That's why they do it. Notice through America, they push the division, the black versus white talk. Because the camps that's what they sent in for, the COINTELPRO, to reverse the Exodus. Stay black, you know, we just only us. You know, that's how they work, you know, stay just Hispanic, it's just only us. And we gonna be beating up whites, we're gonna be beating up white people all day. You know, they can't tell you how you gonna get to where you're going. They can't tell you that. They say, oh yeah, the UFOs and all blah blah blah. But it's gonna be the planes as it's written. As it's written, this is literal human activity. This is all going to be literal. It's going to be an Exodus day. And that's how Satan works. Lucifer is in the flesh, and he's going to use everything he can, government, religion, school system, everything to keep people asleep, dumped down, and bamboozled so that they cannot see what's going on. So they're following these camps, they're following these churches, they're following, you know, the conscious movements and everything, but they don't know what's really going on. Right in their face. You know, they don't know how to prepare. People really want to diligently serve the Lord. So you think they're going to let you do that? The same ones, like I said, as it's written, the synagogue of Satan, the same ones who telling you, oh, yo, this is how you worship your gods. This God is the same one that was telling you he wasn't the Son of God when he walked the earth the first time. You see what I'm saying? They had to include all of this because they all had to know. They had to let you know, and Barry, Barack Obama, they had to let you know, okay, they all working hand in hand. And this is around the time they was first rising up, you know, really hitting full peak. Around like 2017-ish, 2016-ish era. So, you know, as it's written, let me go back. As it's written in Luke 20:17, and he beheld them and said, what is it then that is written, that stone which the builders rejected, the same has become the head of the corner? So, you know, they reject the headstone. You know, I showed it right here. The headstone, they removed that and put their all-seeing eye up there. You know, be their own gods. They want that, you know, they call it's the Lewis stone. So the Freemasons, what they do is they instead of you know how we must uplift Christ, they raise it low so they can keep him hanging low so they can be the ones on top. That's how they work. You know, as it's written, you know, this is the lost keys of Freemasonry. When the Mason learns that the key to the warrior on the block, as it's written, you know, Lewis means warrior. And in Exodus 15:3, the Messiah is the Lord of war. So when they learn that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, basically he's human, he has learned the mystery of his craft. So he know that the Messiah is as a man, so that means he elevate himself as much as possible in all levels, so that what? So that he can contend against him and be his own God. And the seeding energies of Lucifer are in his hands, and before he may step onward and upward, he must prove his ability to properly apply energy. He must follow in the footsteps of his forefather, Tubal Cain, which was nothing basically but Nimrod, the first Mason, the first Freemason, who built the Babel Tower, saying, we're going to slay God. We're going to build this Babel Tower, in Genesis 11. We're going to build this Babel Tower, get to heaven and slay God. Who with the mighty strength of the war god hammered his sword into the plowshare. So you see how serious that is. So let's go into this. Let's break this down right quick. Oh, nobody know the day that the Messiah was returning. Nobody know the time and hour. All right, let's talk about that. I'm going to put that in the comment section below as well. I got the whole breakdown on the behold, he come as a thief in the night. I broke that down. I got the behold, he come with clouds. I got all of that stuff ready. I'm just going to put it in the comment section below, and you can check them chapters out. But I want to just end it off with this. But as you can see, the height of the altar is 146.71 meters. 1 plus 4 plus 6 plus 7 plus 1 equals 19. The height of the altar is 5,776 inches. Obviously, as it's written, the Son, in Psalms 89:36, his seed shall endure forever, and his throne as the sun before me. It shall be established forever as the moon, and as a faithful witness in heaven, Selah. So the sun will be as the throne before him. The throne is the altars. It stands 5,776 inches, and the sun burns at 5,776 degrees. That's why he said, blessed is he who watches. Because watches is knowing what? Knowing the signs in the stars, and knowing the signs, in the earth, knowing the things that was created for what? To be living proof that he was returning as a man. So you see the 5,776 inches, and the sun burned 5,776 degrees. So you see 5776. He was born 7576, 1976. That's why Revelation 12 talks about the red dragon with 7 heads, 10 horns, 7 crowns, seeking to destroy the man-child before he was born. Because, 7 times 10 is the 70s, and then the 7 crowns, July the 7th month. That's why 1973 abortion was legalized, and they pushed feminism, sodomy, so-called homosexuality throughout the 1970s. They pushed condom commercials 1975. They already knew he returned. 1976 was the Chinese dragon year, red dragon year. It's like no way around none of this stuff, man. Like it goes on and on. But I'm going to end that right here. Like I said, I'm going to put the other chapters in the comment section below. You can check them out so you can be further edified. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming, man. Peace.